All right, the draft is right around the corner, right? So we are hearing so far the leaking of the news. Did you guys hear about Jeudy talking about now, and it's not his camp, but it's people coming out saying that, hey, his knee and these sort of things, so he may drop. Now, here's the thing. With the 17th pick, would you go ahead and pull the trigger and say, okay, all right, Jeudy, we like your skill set. We like what you can bring to the table. Now, remember, I'm all team defense. But if you got a likings of a Jeudy, who's supposedly going to top 14, top 12, 13 in this draft, and he falls to the 17, what will you guys do? Also, hey, this team are showing their hands a little bit. People are understanding that, yeah, in the press conference, they say they're going to do 4-3. No, I want you guys to go back and listen to what the collective talk track was with this defense. We're going to play the best people available, meaning that we're going to put the stars out there that's needed. We're not going to cookie cutter this thing. No, that's the old system. That's the old philosophy. This new philosophy is, hey, if you're a dog, you're going to bark and you're going to be out there on the field. That is the reality of it. I'm going to repeat, that is the reality of it. Now, I do know that, Jerry Jones, he got to sell tickets. Mike McCarthy, he got to understand what's going on. And on top of that, he was in a battle, with the media, because this is his first time basically handling this type of pressure. Remember this. This is not Green Bay. This is not the 49ers. This is not the Saints. This is not any of those other organizations that Mike McCarthy pretty much coached at. Dallas Cowboys, we will bring up everything. So you got to be on par. You got to be on point. You got to have your mindset, and you got to be able to steer this thing in the right direction. Now, I will say this. If this team do not decide to go with a defensive-minded player or defensive-minded way in this draft, and they do fall in love with some offensive players, I still won't be mad at it. I'm going to repeat, I still will not be mad at it, because at the end of the day, all of these guys, every last one of them, is a crap shot. We don't know for sure who's going to be the next this and who's going to be the next that. All we can do is sit back and say, okay, based upon the tape that I was able to see, based upon the tape we was able to identify, based upon the level of competition that this person played at, this is what we're looking for. But it's up to coaches to coach. Can I repeat? It's up to coaches to coach. Coach elevate. They don't deviate. They don't hesitate. They elevate. Look, some people think that in order for them to win, or in order for them to get to a certain direction, that they got to have the best. They got to have everything shiny. They got to have that Lamborghini. They got to have the Porsche. You got people that's like that. Let me just say this. You got people, I'm talking to the people out there now, that say, in order for me to, I'm going to use this as an analogy, in order for me to get this girl, I got to make a certain level of income. I got to drive a certain whip. Y'all know people like that? Or I got to live in a certain status quo or income as it relates to, I have to stay in this neighborhood. Maybe she will be able to see me in a different liking. So maybe she will fall in love with me because I'm associating myself with this person. Or maybe if I get into this particular organization or join this group, maybe she will like me. No. It's all about your mind. It's all about how you handle yourself and comfortable in your own skin. You have to understand this. It's not about who have the flashy watch or the nicest cars or what have you that win it all. No, it's about that grind action. Everybody, the craziest thing of all about life? Newsflash. Everybody granted the same amount of time. That's why in my videos I say, that's been my time. I thank you for yours. Because time is what we all share. And time is something that when you lose it, you can't get it back. No matter how much money you got. The same thing is with these players. All they got is time and how they can elevate their craft, and it's up to the coaches to look at that and identify it and squeeze out that greatness in them, because there's greatness in everybody. So it's up to that coaching staff not to look at something as if though this is what they are, but look at something and say, I'm going to be able to uplift and elevate this particular person and make them play at a higher level. And I think that Mike McCarthy is able to do that from a quarterback perspective, you say. All right, so other news is trade situation for the nation. There's a certain player that plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His name is OJ, not Simpson, but OJ Howard. Tight end, 6'6", 250 something pounds. Vertical seam right is there. He can do that. Can be the underneath guy. He can do that. Got sureties in his hands. Not the best blocker in the world, but he will get in the way. So I do know that we got the Blake Jarwins of the world, and we got the Blake Bell. We got old Schultz. But I do think that they got what? Rob Gronkowski. That's good old Tom Brady best friend, right? Then they got Cameron Brate, I think that's his name. And they got the OJ. If they put this guy, OJ Howard, on the trading block, and if we can figure out a way to give them the 4th round draft pick or a 5th, don't you know that I'm running to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers saying, thank you, because I think he got a year left in his contract, and I'm looking at the 6'6" frame, 250 something pounds. I can really close my eyes and imagine and think about this. Good old Mike McCarthy. Oh, you know what he did while he was in middle school, high school, and college on the collegiate aspect of everything? Oh, he played a little tight end action. Remember, tight end is the 3rd hardest position to learn in the National Football League. The tight end position is the 3rd hardest position to learn in the National Football League. Why, Law? Why you got it at 3rd? To me personally, number 1 is quarterback play. Number 2, center. You got to understand where the mic is going to, and you got to know where the block and the blitz and the A gap and the B gap. You got to be sure that you telling the people, everybody, and being able to disseminate and have your open lines of communication through it, everybody. And you got to know the offense front and back, right? That's the center position. But that tight end, you have to know everything. You have to know the responsibilities. And my dog, Jay Novacek, was like, nah, Law, tight end is the hardest position to learn in the National Football League. And I'm not going to argue with Jay Novacek, but I will say this, nevertheless. The tight end position, you are the extension of the offensive line. That's number 1. Number 2, you have to understand and know the responsibilities of a slot receiver. Oh, number 3, sometimes you have to line out wide. You have to play the role of a wide receiver. Oh, number 4, you have to know the responsibilities of a fullback. And you have to combine all of that stuff with the ability to block, with the ability to line in line, and then also to be able to disguise. Is he coming out of his formation, or is he going to stand back and block? Oh, is that what he's doing? He's going to stand back and block? No, Law. He's running vertical routes from the end line. And you got to have that intimidation factor. Looking at the raw ability of it when you have a short linebacker and you looking at it like, man, I'm 6'6". This linebacker hips are stiff. Oh, I'm going to do the Y option route. And everybody know that doggone Jason Witten was the king of the Y option route. That's why he's able to get free, right? The ability to cut and sink your hips and open up at the 5 or the 6 yard line. And the opposition thinking like, dog, I gambled and I missed. Because I thought that he's going to stay inside the block. Oh, he delayed his route. That's why it's so hard to play that tight end position. And a lot of people look at it and say, oh, it's not a good position. It's not a real threat of a position. We don't really need to invest in that position. It's much to do about nothing. No, 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 no. But when you look at Blake Jarwin, what he's able to do as a vertical threat, because he played wide receiver in college and he have those soft hands and he's able to block, he get in the way as well. And then when you look at and you couple that and you add in O.J. Howard, who can do the exact same thing that you got from Blake Jarwin, put stresses on your defense. Why is it stress, Law? Because now you got a stiff hip linebacker on him, and you sitting there saying that this brother got a trailing carry up the field with an O.J. Howard and, dare I say, a Blake Jarwin. What would you eventually do? Get that linebacker up off the field, slide in a safety, defensive back, what have you, your nickel guy to cover, dare I say, that 6'6" tight end. That's mismatch. I just explained to you guys the Baltimore Ravens offense. That vertical mismatch with the tight end play. Man, it's hard to cover that. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to have your defensive meeting sitting there saying, man, they got Amari Cooper on the outside. They just put him back inside and they flexed their tight end on the outside. What do we do now with our coverage responsibilities? Oh, man, Gallup is killing on the outside edges. Oh, what to do now? He's getting heat. And when we roll coverages to Amari Cooper's side, it's one-on-one now with either a linebacker on a tight end that can vertically stretch this thing, or he's going to sit back and block, or the moment we move the linebacker off, we got safeties in. It's light body action. Now it's time for Ezekiel Elliott to eat. Didn't I just explain some crazy offense for your mind? And it was compromised last year because what made it such a hard situation, look back at the Saints game. They said, okay, we're going to sit on Jason Witten routes. And they're foolish enough not to keep Blake Jarwin in when they killed us up the seam. I can't make this stuff up. I cannot make this stuff up. So that's why tight end play is so crucial. That's why when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles game versus the Dallas Cowboys last year, everybody was talking about, well, they had the Walmart All-Stars, Law, and they was able to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Look at the film. Oh, my goodness. Tight end play is something special. When you can kill people in the middle of the field, it means everything. It flat out means everything. Vertically stretching the routes in the middle of the field causes linebackers to be moved off the field, bringing in extra safety or your nickel guy. And then what that does is that, okay, now we can run it. You lighten the body. We're going to run it now. Screen passes. We're going to kill you with that now. You light. Nobody really want to tackle Ezekiel Elliott, even though he's not a Derrick Henry, but he levels the boom and he leaves you foolish, or he can hop over you. Nobody want that work action every time. That's why I'm all in favor with the O.J. Howard trade if they decide to pull the trigger. But if I'm the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm looking at, we got Gronkowski, we got O.J. Howard, we got a Cameron. Look, let's just roll with the trifecta. We got some speed on the outside. Let's go, let's go, let's go. That's what they're going to look at it. In red zone, money zone, green zone, that is always a good situation to have a good tight end in those spots. If you think I'm lying, I want you guys to go back and watch the Minnesota Vikings game. Rudolph versus Sean Lee. Mismatch. Y'all look up Rudolph hype. You look up Sean Lee. Hey, it's mismatch. And then when they try to move Sean Lee out the paint and they try to bring in an extra DB, oh, time to run it. It's easy. You don't need outside wide receivers as much. We just so happen to got them. And if you can invest in a tight end, baby, I'm telling you. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know how you guys feel. Post me your concerns of this team. Where would you like to go in the 2020 draft? Is it defense like me? Team defense all day, every day, even twice on Sunday, baby? Or you want to get down with the 40 burger club? putting 40 on the board. If you want to get down with that, post me that thought down below. Here's come Jerry, Jeudy, or here goes CD Lamb. If he's there at the 17, I don't think he will be there, but you know what I'm saying. Henry Ruggs, dare I say. Post me your thoughts down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Let's go.